lot on the hands of the Finance Ministry because some traders already at the Kejetia market in Kumasi are locking up their shops over the high electricity cost. Individual shop owners currently pay between 500 and 1,500 Ghana cedis monthly as a cost of the electricity charges following last year's increment in the utility tariff. The PURC, just as we heard them on Monday, announced another increment in water tariffs by 8% and that of electricity by 29%, which is expected to take effect from next month, February 2023. Chairperson of the Federation of Kumasi Traders, Nana Isi Prempe, has been speaking to Joy News on that. He says the announced adjustments will deepen the woes of the traders.
We are suffocating due to the rising cost of electricity bills that are being billed to traders in the market. Previously, before the utility price adjustment in September, we were paying between 343,000, 350,000, 380,000 a month. After the tariff adjustment in September, it rose to 400,000. And now, between October and November, it rose about 920,000 in a single month. Meaning, the traders are consuming more power in the market. Whereas when the management is sharing the bills, still, they give us the same points. This has resulted because we are using 1 meter in the market. The high bills that the management gives to the traders is making people close their shops. Many people are closing up their shop because they cannot continue to pay the high cost of electricity bills. Whereas when the person, he or she is having she or an individual meter, she can manage the credit he or she buys per month. But here's the case, of the 7,203 shops, we are all hooked to 1 meter. If we come to the restaurant section, because those operate the canteen areas and other places, some are paying as much as 2,500 cedis a month, some are paying 1,700 cedis a month, some are paying 1,200 cedis a month. So if the person makes all the calculations and realizes that she is running at a loss, then she falls up and close up the shop.
Let's bring in now Adams Yakubu, Policy and Research Analyst with the Institute for Energy Security. Adams, thank you for your time. Clear indication there that the traders are feeling the deep effects of what it is that is likely to be another increment in the utility tariffs. But when you look at the adjustment so far, would you say that that's a realistic target that the PURC is putting out?
Good afternoon and thank you for having me. The PURC, am I audible, Blessed?
I can hear you loud and clear.
Yes. So the PURC's policy and review, we think that it's a bit not very carefully thought through. When you look at the 4 key components they used in their assumptions to determine the tariff, they made mention of the inflation rate, the dollar exchange rate, the energy mix, and the weighted average cost of gas. We have cause to concern the weighted average cost of gas is an important component. Data available to us from Akosombo and Bui shows that the water levels elevation of these 2 hydro dams are at record time high compared to what we had last year. And so we were thinking that this would have factored in their consideration and informed their projection around the computation around the energy mix, which would give favor to hydro instead of thermal. That would have had something like 38 to 62% against what they have projected.
Right. Unfortunately, Adams, you would have to just stand by for us. But earlier we were talking about the increment in the utility tariffs. Adam Yakubu is a policy and research analyst at the Institute for Energy Securities. Back to you, Adams. Apologies for that, but of course it concerns the economy and obviously energy as well. So a reason for which we had to listen to the finance minister. But you're rounding off on some 30% in terms of your projections for the utility.
Yes. So we, as I earlier stated, think that the projection of the PURC is not really reflecting the current performance of our hydro dams. And so if it is going to truly reflect, the percentage of the energy mix should be 38 for hydro and 62 for thermal. Why we say this is because you know that the weighted average cost of gas has been reviewed upwards. And so if by their calculations, that would feed into the pricing. And we think that if they come to our consideration of a 38.62, the anticipated upward adjustment should do something around 20%.
But what would this mean for businesses?
That would mean that businesses would not pay the almost 30% that we are seeing, but rather something around 20%, with possibly the review upwards in subsequent quarters and subsequent reviews.
Well, so you believe that the traders have to just bear the cost, or perhaps government has an option somewhere they could at least make away or part away with, just to give comfort to the traders?
Yes, well, you know that we are not in very normal times in Ghana, and if we have to call on the government to do something, the argument PURC had raised in their press release is that they also acknowledge the economic situation. However, they would want to do everything to keep the lights on. So we think that this review would be a fair deal to both businesses and the power generators at the end of the day.
And I'm grateful for your time. That's Adam Yakubu, Policy and Research Analyst at the Institute of Energy Securities. You're still with us here on The Pulse. We'll return shortly. Please stay with us. We're also keeping our eyes on the Finance Ministry for you as far as your bonds are concerned.